Good evening. This is Wednesday. It's either Wednesday the 9th of June or Thursday the 10th of June. I live real close to Central and Eastern Time line, so whatever. But it's late night. Wife's gone to bed, and I broke this out, and I'm going to play it tonight. And I just thought, hey, I haven't made a video of this, and I checked, and I don't see I made a video of it. And this is a good game. The reason I got it out was earlier today on the Centurion's Review channel, YouTube channel. He had a first look of Time Tripper, and I was just so excited, and typing in there, running off at the mouth about how good of a game it was, that I wanted to play another good game that I haven't played this as halfway as much as I played Time Tripper, but this is another fun game. It's Star Wars Battle for Endor, and it's a solitaire game, as it says there. This one came out in 1989. I've had it for years. The funny thing about this game was, not that long ago, I think like 2014, I was at one of my stores. It was actually a comic store that had a game room in the back, and it ain't there no more. Thanks pandemic. Closed during this whole pandemic thing, but last year sometime. But it was a good place to go, and they would have miniature games, and the miniature games would be Flames of War. It might have been a little later in 2014, but Flames of War and then 40K, right? And so it was in between Flames of War. Actually, they were on different days, but that Flames of War game, we was wanting to finish up some stuff we didn't get to, so we came in early. The owner opened the comic book store up early, and we came in early and to finish that up. And it was still, when we was done, it was still about an hour before the 40K players started coming in. So I was hanging out, and I said I had this with me because I thought something like that might happen. And one of the 40K players came in and was we were talking about it, and we were talking about what they got right according to lore and the movie and the Battle for Endor. What they got right about it, and then what was the game may have gotten wrong about it. And so we're talking about it like it was an historical event. And one of the Flames of War players, he was a guy, he was in his 70s. He was a crusty guy, and he didn't like playing Flames of War, but that's about the only, but he was into miniatures. That's about the only miniature game people was playing that was historical at that place, and he lived close at that shop. And he said, hey, I never forget him. He said, hey, you're talking about Star Wars. And I remember chuckling and laughing and saying, yeah, I know. Went back to talking to the younger kid about it, and he said, and you're still talking about Star Wars. Because it did seem like almost we were talking about like it was a historical event. But nonetheless, that's I haven't had this, and it's just like right here, situation seems hopeless. Hundreds of Imperial troops surround the rebels, the rebel strike team, stormtroopers, speeder bikes, and the AT-ST walkers. The mission has failed, with the energy field still protecting the new Death Star. The rebel fleet faces imminent destruction. The cast of the Alliance lies with a handful of captured. Oh man, this is killing me. Captured heroes and an unorganized army of natives, Ewoks, whose weaponry is no match for Imperial firepower. Can you, as a rebel leader, reverse the fortunes of war? An innovative solitaire system. It's not really that innovative. It is a solitaire system. This really does follow the game of Battle of Hoth, but the Battle of Hoth, right? That's what it's called. It's by West End Games too. This is by West End Games. This was designed by Peter Corliss. who did a North Africa game that I know that I can't. But other than that, I don't know what else he's done. All right, we got this. Let's look at let's look at the rule book. The rules, 12 pages, nice big font. You're good. I love. This is something I'll say. I love these kind of rule books. This is. I like to. It's almost the feel of the paper, right? Because it's a good paper to write on. I never enjoyed the super glossy because it was hard to make tick marks with a pencil. But this here I have no problem with. I like this paper. I like the book. How much is the book? The book's just 12 pages. You may not even need that 12 pages. It's a pretty simple game. Let's see if I can find a, not order of battle, but a you know what, that might be on the, as a matter of fact, I do think it is on the board. Sequence of play. We'll look at the map here. Well, let's look at the components first. The components here. All right, you got stormtroopers, you got ATSTs, you got the Imperial. Well, even says it. Good little insert here, the Imperial faction here. And then here you got the Ewoks and the Rebel factions, right? So, one thing that does kind of bother me about this game is the heavy use of dedicated dust, right? Specialized dust is one of those things that just bothers me. Hey, I still got the sprue. Just bothers me for many reasons, right? You lose one, it's hard to gain. But these, you can find a lot of these because Battle of Hoth is a big game. Then you got card ribbon, of course, just like the Battle of Hoth was, and so you get an action card. And tell you your security troops fire, right? Imperial, that moves the Imperial, and then the event cards will do decent things. Ewok Spring Trap immediately rolls 6 dice to attack any Imperial unit. So there are your events in your cards. It's if you know anything about Battle of Hoth, it's very similar. You're limited in your movements and stuff. It's a lot of that's truly card driven, not capital CDG by any means, but truly card driven. I'm still looking for the sequence of play. I think it's on the map here. Move this out the way. But I've had a lot of fun with this game over the years, and map's nice thick paper map. It's here's going to be your rebel setup area. You're going to be able to set up your as I remember, the Imperial setup was a you roll to set it up, right? It's just a random setup, and then you get to set up your troops. But you only set up, you got you have different setup. You have the rebel setup area. That's going to be like Luke, and you got heroes, which is cool. You got Luke, you got Han, I guess. You got Chewbacca. You got a couple of the Ewoks that were, some of the specialist ones. You got the C-3PO. And C-3PO, I forgot what he does because he doesn't fight. And R2-D2, R2-D2, you need him to open up the Imperial bunker. And once you get in the bunker, this is where you're at in the bunker here. But Imperial tactics. Here we go. Let me fold this for us just a second to look at the sequence of play. And well, maybe not. Yeah. So, well, let's go this way. So, Imperial movement rules, right? all of that, what you're on, your A, B, or C is the tactics. Sometimes they change tactics, and they'll go for Ewoks first, and then they'll go for catapults, because the catapults are extremely important. They're about the only thing that can take out an ATST. Rebel troopers, right? The heroes. So they changed their tactics, and I'm still looking for a good sequence of play, man. About ready to set this up and play it, but turn sequence, there it is, 4. Quickly on there. On a train. Is that what it's in for? Wasn't page 4, I guess. Setting up the game. He looks at turn sequence. Of course, it's 4. Sorry, y'all. The game is played in a series of turns. Right. Draw an action card. If it is a draw event card, draw an event card. If it is not, then move, fire, or breach with any or all units of the type indicated on the card, right? After the actions indicated on the card have been performed, place the card in the discard pile and perform another action round. If no action cards remain to be drawn, the turn is over. Shuffle the action deck back together and begin another turn. Play continues in this manner until the rebel forces destroy the Imperial shield generator or 5 cruisers are destroyed by the Death Star. Yeah, that was what I really thought was neat, because it's the air conditioner coming on. Hot, man, it's hot. Real hot and humid. I can't believe the air conditioner went off, to be honest with you. But that's what I always thought was neat. You would, as the battle's raging, you got the action cards and your event cards, right? And as the battle's raging, sometimes you'll pick an event card and it'll say cruiser destroyed. The Death Star destroyed one of the rebel cruisers. And like they said, you get 5 cruisers destroyed, the game's over. And that's really the timing mechanic. So you do get this kind of different kind of setup, or what I want to say, different time mechanic. And so it has a lot of replay value due to that. So you turn them over, and when you get to that 5th cruiser, it's over. It's not an terribly easy game to win, which it shouldn't be, but it's not one of these incredibly hard games to win either. And for a solitaire game, it's right where it should be, in my opinion. When you win it, you do feel like you accomplished something, but when but it's not one of these overbearing things where you just need to get all kinds of rolls, right? I do like the Ewoks and I do like the standees that were used. These were a pain getting in those standees. I still remember doing it and getting them up under your fingernails for whatever. They weren't easy to bend, to open like that, right? But I do like the standees, although I'm not sure counters wouldn't have been better, because sometimes you get, you don't really have stacking in this, obviously, but you get them so close together. I'm not sure that a half-inch counter would fit in these would have been just as good, in my opinion, right? But the heroes do different things. You're trying to breach the R2-D2 and C-3PO. They got 4 dice for breaching, So it's and that was another thing. The mechanic of how many dice you're rolling. That would be, if you're rolling the rebel player, that'd be 2 hits for the rebel, right? So that's what you're trying to do. That's the Imperial. That's what you're trying to do, and you're trying to match up dice there. These dice here were basically for the setup, and that was about it, if I remember right. But yeah, good game. Excellent game. If you have a chance to pick it up for a good price, that's the problem with a game like this and like Time Tripper. They're ridiculous prices. They're just sometimes they're ridiculous prices. I got this one at, what hobby store was that? It was back in the day. It was like Something to Do or something. It was one of them hobby stores around here that just doesn't exist anymore. Gosh, we had tons when I was a kid. They just don't exist like that no more. There's a couple. But man, there used to be a ton of them. But if you can pick it up, it's worth picking up for the right price. I would, man, I may go $70 for it, but I'll remind you that I would, I'll pay a little bit more for something that I really enjoy. But it's an enjoyable game. And yeah, have a chance to pick it up, good price, do so. You'll have fun if you like Star Wars. And if you don't, then it's not for you. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.